What up, YouTube? It's your boy JKG Brandon back with some more Diablo Immortal content. Today we're going to take a quick look at the barb specific use case for Grace of the Flagellant. Y'all, if you want to have a debate on how to pronounce it, let's go ahead and have that in the comments below. But we're going to take a look at the 6-piece set for the barb and why I'm beginning to think that it is actually the best 6-piece full set for the barb. So we'll take a look at that and we'll get right into it. So before we actually get into it, I just want to thank everybody for all of the recent support on all the videos. I did take a little bit of a break because back on some medications and wasn't feeling good, and it just was a bad situation and wasn't able to record. So we're gonna get back into it here. We'll get back on our bi-weekly videos here for you guys. So we'll take a look here. We're gonna bring up the skills here for the barb that we're using. Pretty standard farm build, and what it is going to be Wrath of the Berserker and Whirlwind with the hammer, and we're going to run a sprint here. Now if we come over here to the armory, we're going to see we have, you know, a level 10 neck, the 49 vitality, 52 willpower. It's not exactly, you know, the best piece in the game, right? I got it at Paragon 49. You know, severed thumb, broken palm, bloody hand. You can see all of the stats are not, you know, incredibly high, right? Like the hands are, you know, double in the 80s that I picked up at, what is this, Paragon 114. So they're not exactly the best pieces as far as raising your combat rating and everything like that, but where they shine is the effectiveness. So if we look at the effectiveness, Grace of the Flagellant, all continual damage. So for the barb, that's going to be things like our if we use the ground stomp, or if we use leap where it opens up the ground and it does damage over time, that's going to be where that comes into play. Channel damage is actually our whirlwind. Our whirlwind is our only channel ability, so that one comes in play big time. And then persistent ground damage, again, similar, you know, the ground opening and everything like that. That's the 2-piece. It's pretty decent for a barb. Now, it's not going to be insanely great for a 2-piece. The 4-piece, every time we damage an individual enemy 5 times, so with the whirlwind, when we spin, we can hit 5 times in succession on, you know, multiple enemies. We're going to deal, with my current stats, we're going to deal right around 4k damage of additional damage to that enemy. And that's on the 4-piece. Now, here's the fun part, where we get into the fun part for the barb. Each time we deal damage, so this has nothing to do with continual damage, channel damage, consistent ground damage, none of that. This can proc off of a basic attack. And this is the best part of this. Each time you deal damage, you have a 4% chance. It's low chance, but it procs quite often when we're farming, of unleashing a lightning strike, dealing, with my current stats, almost 24k damage to all enemies nearby, and stunning them for 1 second. Cannot occur more than once every 40 seconds. It procs a lot. And then if you are running something like a Chip of the Stoneflesh, the stun is going to proc off of that. And then another thing to keep in mind, I do have a Zwenson's Haunting that I'm running, and this is actually, when they proc the Grace of the Flagellant, it shines down a white lightning bolt that hits, and it's nice. The Zwenson's Haunting, it almost looks the same, only purple. A little bit muddier, a little bigger on the screen, but that's pretty much how we're running this. As far as gear that we're running 5 fresh claws for the armor shred, so we're going to do more damage. We are going to be running Stonefall, so our hammer is actually going to do an additional 10% damage. And then our Broken Soul, which is going to allow us to do crit hit chance instead of attack speed, so we have a better chance of critting on those hits. So we're going to actually come out here. We'll hop down here into my favorite place to farm. We are in Mount Zavane, of course, and we're going to just come over into this nice little spot here. So we're going to just 5 fresh claws, without critting, and you can kind of see there's the big crit, you know, and then the big hits. It does roughly about 30k damage without critting on a regular basis. You can see right there we're doing about 5k crit for 7, you know, and it can happen off of any kind of an attack. That's the best part. There you see right there an 8k crit off of that was a base attack after a whirlwind. So we're going to come here, we're going to get a nice big, we're going to see if we can round up a whole big mob of enemies here. We'll come all the way down here, and what we'll do is we have a yellow mob here. That's always good. So what we'll do is we'll kind of swing around here. We'll go ahead and pop their armor, and we'll hit, and you can kind of see, bang, it just, all those white lightning bolts that come through, and it's just good night. It's good night, Irene, as Michael Chavello likes to say. And, you know, we're doing this one a little bit different. I'm not actually doing, you know, we're going to play test it live for you guys, right? So I'm probably going to miss a couple of the bigger crits and things like that. But there you see all those white numbers, but it was enough to kill all of those enemies. Those hit for roughly about 30k and on average, and it's just ridiculous. There you can see 72k without that one. I did see it was 72k without critting the little tiny white number. I have seen this crit regularly for mid to upper 80k. On average, I would say it crits for around upper 70s, somewhere between 75 and 79,000 damage. I have seen as high as 90, and at one point I wish I could have got it, but there was a really huge mob, and when you have all those big groups like that, you get all the crits that pop up in front of each other and everything, so you can't really see. I think I may have reached a 100k crit on it. Cannot confirm that, but I have confirmed multiple times that I have crit for over 90k. So this, as a barb, and we all know as barbs, we struggle to do damage in most situations, that a lot of people, you know, that play other classes like Demon Hunter and things like that, they don't necessarily have to worry about, you know, just baking in damage. This with our stats, and I'll go ahead and show you guys my actual stats here momentarily, but there you can see I'm gonna have to go back and look at that in editing right there. That might have said 106. I am very curious to see if I caught a 100k crit on camera. If that was not 106, it was 10 something. But you can see Grace of the Flagellant definitely has the potential to be some of the biggest damage. And with this build, with these gems specifically that we're using on this build, Swenson's Haunting can crit for you know, 50k. I've seen Swenson's Haunting crit for about 50k. Howler's Call I've seen crit for about 60 to 70. So we're able to bake in some damage that we're not necessarily doing by just our actual stats with this setup. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys a overview there. We're going to take a look at the stats. We don't care if we die here, just to kind of go back and show you, right? So our overall damage, we're sitting at 6528, 70k life. Strength is, you know, pretty decent, almost 1200. And then we come in here, our combat rating is 4278. Armor and armor pen, you know, under 650 on both. So we're not doing an insane amount, right? Crit hit chance, we're at 13% baseline. We get an additional 50 with our Wrath of the Berserker with the Broken Soul as the offhand. And yeah, we just, I mean, sure, you can say 1790 on resonance, but trust me, I wasn't doing anywhere near this kind of damage with, you know, my normal set, which was a 4-piece Vithus and a 2-piece, I want to say Shalboss, just going for max CR. My max CR is right around 47k or 4700. I wish it was 47k. My max CR is right around 4700, and I'm not doing anywhere close to this damage when these proc. It makes it a little problematic for like things where I want to do a lot of damage like this in like challenge rifts, because my CR is so low. My base damage that I'm doing is so low when I try to go in there with this kind of a setup, that I get one shot very easily, and you have to get that CR there. So it doesn't work there. I'm testing it out. I've been playing around with it, trying to work it into my arena build, which has been kind of nice. Haven't been able to lock down anything and really see if it makes a difference in arena for me. I still think that maybe a 6-piece mount bank might be the best in slot for the barb in arena. I think that might be the best in slot for all classes in arena. Honestly, the mount bank 6-piece is kind of nuts. I'm still working on getting a full 6-piece of that and a full 6-piece of Vithus. When I do those, I will definitely test them similar to this. But yeah, let me know, do you run the 6-piece gray set? Do you have a 6-piece gray set? Do you plan on farming the 6-piece gray set? If you do, as a barb, let me know what's the highest crit that you've seen on yours. I definitely want to see any way we can get some damage in for us barbs, because we definitely need it. With that being said, I've been JKG Brennan. Y'all been amazing. Peace.